Hi, folks. It's Mark Smith with Family Tree Counseling Associates on a beautiful Labor Day weekend here near the beach. Um, my lovely wife, Brenda, had expressed an interest in not only quantity time but quality time. So I set up a date for us to go jet skiing this morning. And I don't know how much quality time it ended up being. Uh, uh, the jet skis that we had were particularly difficult to operate, and it took you a little while to get the hang of it. And she dumped me off the back of of the jet ski twice. One time I hit my head really hard, took off my skull cap, lost my sunglasses. She didn't seem particularly repentant of dumping me in the water. Anyway, the reason I bring it up is, again, I'm minding my own business. I wasn't going to make a video for a while. I think a lot of y'all tired of me making so many videos. I needed a break. You guys probably needed a break. But as we're tooling along, trying to hold on for dear life, as my wife was driving on the way back, I drove on the way there. I drove a lot faster. I saw a sign that spoke to me, a sign from God. Here's what the sign said: you are responsible for your own wake. So if you got a boat and you make a wake and it caused a problem, you're responsible. Now, when Renda was driving our little jet ski and people went by and caused a big wake, and and uh, she got turned a little sideways, and I went flying in the midair into the water. Didn't seem like they were responsible for their wake. It seems like I took the brunt of it. But in recovery from narcissistic abuse syndrome, in fact, it is true that we are responsible for our own wake. And I'm going to tell you 10 ways how we are responsible for our own wake. So here we go. In no particular order. If you experience narcissistic abuse, ain't nobody going to clean up the mess for you. So number one is you're responsible for your recovery, for your health. The issues are in the tissues of your body. From going real fast on the jet ski today, my hands are a little trembly still. You're going to have a lot of symptoms in your body, and you have got to do a lot of body work. You've got to do EMDR if you can, talk therapy if you can, get a lot of online support, watch a lot of YouTube videos, listen to a lot of books, read a lot of books, pray, 12-step, meditation, massage, whatever it takes. You're responsible to heal the issues in the tissues of your body and the wounds in your soul and heart. Number two, you're responsible to survive. There was one day over 2 years ago, over 2 years ago when this happened, this shattering. At the end of April of 2015, one day I was just beat. I was just done. I was at the gym and I was gonna play basketball, and then I was gonna go home and sit in my car. I was turn my motorcycle on, my two cars on, and just take some Ambien and just drift away. That's what I was gonna do. Only time in my life I've been suicidal, but I made a plan. But I was at the gym and I wanted to play basketball one last time, and I got on a team that didn't look very good, but we started whooping everybody's ass. We won like 4 games in a row, and I played good. I didn't play like I was the star of the team or anything, but I contributed, and I got done, and the chemicals in my body had shifted, and I felt better, and I went home and I took a nap instead of taking a nap. But this thing will kill you, trust me. So you're responsible to just live your way through it. Number three, um, you, unfortunately, you're responsible to clean up the financial tsunami. I made a video surviving the financial tsunami of narcissistic abuse. Y'all, if y'all could send some prayers down here to South Carolina, we got somebody named Irma coming our way, and everybody around these parts are pretty jittery about it, you know, because she's packing up steam and could be a level 5 hurricane showing up here at the beach, and it's scary. But y'all know what narcissistic abuse do to your finances. Over really about a 12-year period, narcissistic abuse has just been destroying me financially. I've made a lot of money, but narcissistic abuse in so many ways will leave you in debt. I'm just getting out of debt, and it feels mighty wonderful. Um, Early as a young man, I was living in Tulsa, Oklahoma, going to Bible school. And I got a job one summer working for FEMA for flood relief. There was a flood in Tulsa. A lot of people didn't have flood insurance, so the government was writing checks. And my job, I felt like a little bit like Santa Claus. I'd walk in, look around, say, oh, you lost your couch, you lost your TV, you lost your computer. I'm gonna put in a requisition for $5,000 for you. But you know what? What I found out is there's no FEMA for survivors of narcissistic abuse syndrome. Uh, I was thinking serious for a while about applying for disability. I have a disability policy that I pay for, and I thought long and hard. I've called them 3 times. I don't have to do it anymore because I'm better. But I thought about it, but there isn't anybody that's going to come along and pay your bills. Y'all found that out, didn't you? You know, your life blows to hell, your finances blow to hell. There ain't no FEMA knocking on your door wanting to give you a check. You're responsible for the check. I used to have a little saying on my bathroom mirror, and it says, with integrity, with tenacity, and with consistency, you are digging yourself out of that hole. Your credits are piling up. And I was, after the second round of narcissistic abuse, I was $122,000 in debt. And I just look at that every day. And I just knew that by being in recovery, doing the right thing, I dug completely out of that hole. Then I want to make another one by another narcissist. So, folks, when we're really damaged and when we're addicted to narcissists, we can be a little crazy and we hurt our children. Not trying to shame anybody. I was so addicted to a borderline back in 2007. I set my 3 children down on a love seat and said, Dad's leaving. They didn't ask why. But it's because I was addicted to a really vicious borderline, didn't care a lick about me, and left a lovely, beautiful, good woman and an awesome house and 3 amazing kids so that I could go reenact with a representative of my mother trying to heal my childhood. But I've made peace with all my children. They respect me. They love me. But if, you know, 10 or 15 or 20 years they want me to sit with them on a therapy couch and make some amends, I'll jump at the chance to do that. Hey, don't feel shame. I don't feel shame about that. It was a terrible thing to do, but I don't feel shame because, you know, that's what I needed to do to reenact and heal the wounds of my childhood. And the tug toward that was so powerful. It was like I wanted my mommy, the infant in me. And it was a horrible thing to do, and I paid so many consequences for it. And I feel remorse and regret, but I do not feel shame, and neither should you. Um, Everybody's kid's going to need to sit on a therapy couch, not just yours and not just mine. Number 5, you're responsible for not getting yourself into any serious consequences. When I was unhinged the first couple of weeks after my shattering, I was a dangerous fella. I was aggressive on the basketball court, and I'll admit it, I went looking for a fella, looking to do him harm. And thank God, thank God, thank God for the grace and for his intervention, where I was out ready to destroy my life. And my kids actually called the police, and the police showed up, and I thought they were going to snuggle me. I've told this story. They were so sweet and so nice and so understanding and so kind. So whatever, if you lose your shit, if you lose your mind, I don't know. I maybe could have got off for temporary insanity because I was temporarily insane, but I wouldn't want to risk that in a court of law. So you're responsible for your behavior. Number 6, you're responsible for your good name, for your reputation. Now, if you practice detachment and there are flying monkeys and narcissists running you down, you don't care about that. You know, that can go on all day and it doesn't bother you in the slightest little bit. So that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about if you're not healthy and walking in integrity, then your reputation is going to be rightfully damaged by your own self. And we shouldn't walk around just not giving a damn what people think about us, but we shouldn't be codependently all riled up if a bunch of flying monkeys want to take a shot at us. So number 7, this is an important one, y'all. This is a good one. I'm gonna get me a little drink of tea. I'm thirsty. Okay, so you're responsible for your rebound relationships. After you get shattered, you are so vulnerable. You're needy, you're naive, you're lonely, you're sad. I made a video last week. It said, the wolf doesn't get after the unlucky deer. The deer that the wolf kills and eats, it's the weak deer. And if you've been through narcissistic abuse, you're weak and you're easy prey. And if you get on a dating site, you don't have a prayer. If you're recently, and by recently shattered, I mean anytime in the last 2 years, you get on a dating site and you go looking for love, you can get your ass kicked. I'm just telling you. So anyway, I got this story. It's actually, I heard it from David White, my favorite poet, and it's a 15th century poem about, I think it's called Beowulf. And he was a 6th century consultant of sorts, a hired sword. And he was retained by Hargoth, king of Denmark. You see, there was a problem. There was a creature named Grendel. And Grendel was a swamp creature. And he was given to late night brutal attacks. He'd come out of the swamp and he was hauling off young men and young women and killing them. And so the king of Denmark said, anybody who could go kill Grendel, I will give you a king's ransom. So Beowulf signed up for the job. He went down there with his sword and he killed Grendel. Well, Grendel, David White, he likens it to our deep fears. But the problem is, after Beowulf succeeds and he's celebrating, he discovers something that even is more scary than Grendel. And what happened was Grendel's mama found out that he got killed by Beowulf. And she was much more powerful, fearsome creature. So it isn't Grendel you got to worry about. You got to worry about Grendel's mama coming after you. And here's the thing, folks. I was involved with about 5 narcissistic women. And they just kept getting worse and worse. And the one experience that shattered me the most profoundly, about a year and a half later, I ran into Grendel's mother. So Grendel was bad enough. I made a lot of videos about her, and she was trouble. But what I didn't know was Grendel's mother was out there. And even though she didn't look scary at all, she didn't really treat me mean at all. Once there was a discard, she turned out to be Grendel's mother, and very fearsome and very scary. So y'all, if you've been through a shattering, don't date for 2 years. And when you do date, call me up and let me do a family background check on them. And we'll find out if they can do the work. We'll find out who they are. And be surrounded by the herd, H-E-R-D. Your pastor, your therapist, your 12-step sponsor, your best friends, your family members. If all of them are thumbs down on this knucklehead that you're starting to date, you better get the hell out of Dodge, get away from that man, because he's the devil, you know. And if they're thumbs up, everybody's thumbs up, then still proceed with great caution. I don't know if some of you saw our wedding we put online. I got running off the mouth and I said, even my ex-wife likes Renda. And she does. My ex-wife adores Renda, actually. So watch out for Grendel's mother. Watch out for the rebound relationship. You think you got it bad now? You think you've been traumatized now? There's people out there 5 times worse than the one that almost killed you. So be very careful. Number 9, you're responsible for giving back. Give back to people. If people give to you, give on back to them. There's this massage therapist I've mentioned from St. Joe, Michigan, and she saved my life. Renda saved my life. Paul Hartman saved my life. On Site saved my life. A lot of people saved my life. And I go out of my way to try to give back to Deb Ward because, you know, she helped me so much. I give back to On Site. I send them referrals and I mention them. Y'all should go to On Site. It's a magical, special place. So give back. And I know almost all of you do. You get on these forums and you get on Facebook and you get on the live streams. Our live stream on Tuesday night, it gets so much feedback and support back and forth. By the way, I want to mention, if some of you are watching from the live stream, bad news and good news. Good news is you're going to be getting a lot more of my wife Renda on the live stream. The bad news is I'm going to take a little break from the live stream for a while. My wife says I'm too busy and she'd rather see me put a few clients on Tuesday and then take some time off on another night to spend time with her. And so I'll still show up from time to time. Maybe I'll stick my head in when she's traveling. I'll sub in. So I'll be on there. I just won't be on there every week. So just that's the good news is you'll get a lot more renda. Bad news you won't get as, or maybe it's good news that you won't get as much as me, because I do goofy shit on there. I'm like eating, wearing Superman hats, saying silly things. Anyway, number 10. You know what you're responsible for? You're responsible for your own serenity and your own peace of mind. You know what? If you're bitter, you can't have serenity and you can't have peace of mind. You can't even have spirituality, because bitterness is a cancer that'll eat away at all those things. So you are responsible for your serenity. You're responsible for giving back. You're responsible for not dating Grendel's friggin' mother or Grendel's friggin' father as a rebound relationship. You're responsible for your reputation. You're responsible for keeping yourself out of jail. You're responsible for any damage that might have happened to your children or to sometimes there's a spouse who's not a narcissist who gets hurt indirectly. You're unfortunately responsible for your fund. I wonder if we could appeal to Donald Trump and for relief for people with PTSD. We'll start us a fund with billions of dollars, and whenever y'all go through this, we'll just apply and Donald will send us a big check. What do you think? I don't think he's going to go for it. You're responsible to stay alive, and you're responsible for healing the wounds in the living tissues of your heart, mind, and soul. That's all I have for you today. I love y'all. Fellas, if you get on the back of a jet ski with your wife, be careful. Hold on for dear life, dear God. She didn't fall off. I fell off. I just wasn't holding on to her enough. Join us on Tuesday night. I will be there this Tuesday. So this will be my last Tuesday for a while. Please pray for all the people, all the countries, all the states, all the cities in the path of Hurricane Irma. I was thinking, hey, it's very nice for me to be praying, hey, can you keep her away from me? Send her up to New York or down to Florida and just leave us. Let's pray for everybody that Irma just dies out in the middle of the ocean somewhere. Also subscribe to our YouTube channel and buy some books at familytreecounseling.com. I'm going to go take a nap. I'm really tired after getting beat up on that jet ski. I love y'all. God bless you. Take care.